Okay, Commissioners, the next item is item number 6, an application for a certificate of appropriateness in the Borough of Manhattan, Block 223, Lot 35. It's 438-440 Greenwich Street, aka 50 Vestry Street, located within the Tribeca North Historic District. Docket number 167100. It's a garage building built in 1925. The application is to modify masonry openings and install ground floor infill, canopies, signage, and a barrier-free access ramp and stairs.
Good morning, Commissioners. Emma Waterloo, Preservation Staff. The item before you is for 438 to 440 Greenwich Street in Tribeca North Historic District. The building is located on the northwest corner of the intersections of Vestry Street and Greenwich Street. For your reference, the historic tax photograph is on the left and the existing conditions are on the right. This proposal has several components, including reopening the masonry openings along the Vestry Street facade, modifying the masonry openings along the Greenwich Street facade, and installing new black painted steel and glass storefront infill and black painted metal cladding here and here on both facades, installing a black painted metal ramp, stairs, and railing across the front, relocating the existing corner bollards, installing metal and glass canopies here and here, removing and reinstalling the bracket sign, and constructing temporary partitions within 18 inches of the glazing and lighting of the western two storefront bays on the Vestry Street facade, which will be in place for approximately 2 years. The project applicants are here to further explain the proposal and answer your questions.
Good morning, Commissioners and staff. My name is Joe Levine, Bone Levine Architects, and Gustavo Luxinger is from my colleague is with us to present this. So I guess I could just elaborate a little bit more. This is the tax photo. Those bays are actually open on Vestry Street, and it became an auto repair shop, and these are concrete block infills, and that original wall was removed here, so the condition that's here isn't even original to the building. So our proposal is to install steel and glass storefronts in each of those bays, restore the brickwork shell to the greatest degree possible. Some of the parapets are going to be reconstructed because of the condition of the brickwork. We have an environmental issue and floodplain elevation issue, so we're raising the floor level and creating a loading dock reminiscent of the Tribeca loading dock designs. Let's see, so these are sort of the typical neighborhood conditions of loading docks with cascading stairs and railings, a couple of canopies, and various storefront conditions. These are some of the conditions of the structure. The parapet I mentioned, and deteriorated lintels that support the brickwork above the openings. Cracking of the masonry piers, so we do have to take that parapet and reconstruct it. So these are the existing elevations with the block infill and the existing entry door for the shop over here. That's the grid of the proposed new storefront and loading dock configurations, cascading steps. A section through the wall showing the elevated floor system vented for remediation, and the storefronts, canopies are located just at the two sides of the corner. Restored brickwork wherever possible, replaced damaged brickwork where required. This is the existing floor plan, once again showing the infill, brickwork to be removed, and the hanging doors on Greenwich Street to be removed. This is the proposed plan. This is the proposed loading dock. It's a ramp on Greenwich. It brings you up to the floor elevation and stairs that cascade down around the corner, around the rest of it. Primary entrances are at the corner. These are the temporary light box walls to allow for an interior installation. This is to be a rental sales office. So there'll be a model apartment built in here, so which will take place in the back half. The front half will remain visible. So this is the roof plan. 2 canopies at the corner entrances, cascading loading dock stairs. That's what we got.
Should go back to the rendering.
Yeah.
All right, questions? Any questions for the applicant? Okay, any speakers on this item? Any speakers? All right, we did receive Community Board 1's resolution. They recommend that the Landmarks Preservation Commission approve this application with the reconfigured stair design that reduces encroachment in the sidewalk and with new sidewalk curbs at former curb cuts to be specified as granite. All right. When you were before the Community Board, I presume that they raised concerns about the extent of the stairs that you are proposing along the perimeter of the building, and to see whether you can reduce that, given that it's taking away from the sidewalk. Have you had a chance to explore that?
Oh, we do have. Let me see. I think it's reflected in this. Right?
It's on the appendix pages of the handouts that you have.
So it's here.
It should have been there.
Oh, it's not here.
It's not there. So on page 15, there's an alternate loading dock configuration which was presented to the Community Board.
Okay, and did they support this? This was the one that they supported?
Yes, their main concern was the proximity of the loading dock to the planter edge. We explained that that meets the minimum DOT requirements, which is 3 feet. The planter could be modified to make it slightly smaller, gaining approximately another half foot or so, to a total of 3.5 feet of clearance between the loading dock and the edge of the planter.
Okay, and just in terms of the curb cuts, where they want you to bring back the curb, and they've asked to do it in granite because that's the existing curb, is that correct?
Well, a decision hasn't been made about that. The existing curb cuts
Yes.
For our building and the adjacent property to the north are steel curbs. We think that's probably even more in keeping with that building than putting granite curbs there, but we are replacing the sidewalk, and the goal is to replace the sidewalk, not to be a granite sidewalk that wasn't there, or a bluestone sidewalk that wasn't ever there, but to be as in keeping with the building itself. So we're still proposing a sidewalk that matches the adjacent sidewalks, and which is a concrete sidewalk, and steel curbs. There were never granite curbs there, so it may not be the place.
Okay, yes. Fred?
Yeah.
And then...
In the alternate plan on page 15, why is it that you need 2 stairs and 2 ramps on each street? Why isn't one acceptable?
Well, there's a pair of doors shown in the first 2 bays And that was, you know, part of a conversation with staff about future use, so allowing there to be, you know, multiple stores in there in the future. So it's a maybe like
Maybe-
travel distance.
Yeah,
from-
maybe that's the answer.
Okay,
answer.
we understand. It allows you to, the flexibility to have
Yeah,
access.
yeah.
Okay. All right, any other questions? Okay, any other questions? All right, we can close the hearing. All right, I think this proposal is very appropriate. It seems that with this change in use to retail, the treatment of the facade, bringing back the historic brick, and the treatment of the openings and the material actually is very consistent with the district. Okay, any comments at all? Herbert? Okay.
I think it's a terrific reuse of that building. I look at it, my only concern is that it might actually restore the brick too much. You know, I really, you know, love the sort of older look to it, but it's fantastic, and they can probably dump the emission station sign they left in on the building, but.
Okay. All right, good. So, Chris, would you like to read that?
Sure.
Thank you.
To the matter of 438440 Greenwich Street, also known as 50 Vestry Street, Tribeca North Historic District. Application is to modify masonry openings and install ground floor infill canopies, signage, and a barrier-free access ramp and stairs. I recommend approval, finding that the proposed alterations will not eliminate any significant architectural features of the historic district, that the modifications to the masonry openings will be well scaled to the building and help regularize and unify the building's base, that the simple design, rectilinear detailing, metal materials, and black painted finish of the infill ramp, stairs, railings, canopies, base cladding, and corner bollards will be consistent with the industrial character of the building, that the gridded pattern of the infill, predominance of glazing in the bays, and placement and dimensions of the infill ramp, stairs, and canopies will help the installations to recall the basic design and character of garage bays, loading platforms, and canopies historically found in this historic district, that the use of frame glazing at the canopies will recall in a contemporary manner the relationship of sheet metal and iron framing of historic canopies, that the placement, size, materials, and design of the existing bracket sign are compatible with the industrial character of the building and historic district. Therefore, its reinstallation after repairs will maintain a harmonious feature, that although the presence of interior partitions and light boxes within 18 inches of the glazing is not typical of this historic district, their temporary installation at 2 bays for a period not to exceed 2 years will maintain a modest presence within the streetscape, and that the cumulative effect of the work will support the historic and architectural character of the district.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This application is approved.